Welcome. This is a special edition of CIS 204 Unix Shell Scripting and Utilities. This is one of the video notes for Project 6. And what I'm going to work on today in this wonderful thing is explaining how to handle this price restriction process, or the total amount restriction that we need to deal with in Project 6. So I built a shell called restricted total, underbar total dot shell. And in front of us here in a moment, when I drop down this cheesy camera, we'll have the shell itself. So here it is, the standard shell. You've got bin bash, right? Then it has an echo you are restricted to purchases under. Notice what I did here. Normally the $ shows up in front of a variable. In other words, show me what the variable actually contains, not the name of the variable. So in order to get the $ to show up, you are restricted to purchases under $500. I have to ask Echo not to treat the $ as a meta character, but treat it as a literal, and that's why the escape is there. Okay, so then I do this echo-n, enter price per unit. The -n basically tells Echo, don't give me a new line. Then I read price. Then I echo $n, enter quantity, read quantity. And then I set something called total. This is a variable that will be used later. And total equals echo $price times $quantity, calculated by the binary calculator, the BC, or the basic calculator, whatever the BC stands for. So then I do a while loop. And the reason for the while loop is because if the total purchase price goes beyond $500, the quantity has to be reduced until it comes under $500. So what I do is, while the total is greater than 500, I will do let quantity equal quantity minus 1. In other words, decrement the quantity, and then take the total and reset the total to be the price times the quantity. Hey, we've been there before, right? Yeah, actually, we've been there right here. Let me set the numbers here, and you can see. So, basically, number 11 resets the total, which is set in number 7, line number 7. And then it does that until it gets the total below $500. Once it's done getting the total below $500, it echoes the price is, there's the escape in front of the $, and the price, and the quantity is whatever this quantity has been set to at the last go round. The total is, and it will be $500 or less. So let's quit out of that and see what this shell actually does. Okay, so let's do this. Restricted total shell. You are restricted to purchases under $500. Enter price per unit, $5. Enter quantity, 100. Cool. Came right back. Now, let's do that again. $5. 101. Notice the price is $5 and the quantity is 100. The total is $500. Let's do this. Let's do $6 and let's do 102. The price is $6 and the quantity is 83. The total is 498. Well, now that's really special. It works. But how does it work? How can I see what's actually going on while that shell's sitting there banging around on the code that's inside that restricted shell? Well, here's something that we will talk about or have talked about already, but we're going to demonstrate it here. It's the bash space -x option to bash. That will run this shell in a debug mode. So let me run this. There's the line. It ran echo. Then it said you are restricted to purchases under 500. It gave me that. Echo, enter price per unit. And then I'm going to read the price. So let me give it that $5 again. Echo, quantity. Let's give it 105. Actually, let's give it 103. We know that we've got 3 too many in there to make that $500 line. So let's see what happens in the shell to get it to $500. This is what happens. The binary calculator runs. Echo 5 times 103, total equal 515. 515 is greater than 500. Let quantity equal quantity minus 1. Run the binary, the BC. Echo 5 times 102, let total equal 510. 510 is greater than 500. Let quantity equal quantity minus 1. BC 5 times 101, let total equal 505. 505 minus greater than 500. Let quantity equal quantity minus 1. The BC again, 5 times 100, 500. It works. Now, so this code works, right? Okay, well, let's do something really special here. And we won't do it with the --x. But I'm going to enter a price per unit, and I'm going to enter 100,000,000. There's 1,000,000 units. How long will it take to come back and give me you bought 100 of them? Well, it's going to take it a couple of minutes here. Because what is it doing? It's running through that that while loop. Maybe. Here it goes. In fact, let's take a look at the processing while this is going. Oh, man. So I've got one CPU that's going at 96% of capacity. Well, here we go. Both of them are locked up. It still hasn't come back. Memory isn't too bad. So let's look at the processes. Let's see what's running CPU here. So the bash really isn't running too much CPU. What's actually going on, and there shouldn't be any memory running on this thing either. But it's tying up the CPU working on this thing. How many did I? Oh, wait a minute. I gave it 100 million. Well, it'll be processing for a while. But anyhow, that gives you an idea of how this particular piece of the puzzle is going to be solved. So we'll get a chance to deal with this in class.